Hello everyone. Welcome to Intellipaat's live webinar on how to choose cloud computing as a career. Today's webinar will be conducted by Mr. Sanjay, who is an AWS solution architect professional, training consultant, and a subject matter expert. He has more than 20 years of experience in the field of corporate training. He has strong expertise in AWS cloud computing, VMware data center virtualization, and cybersecurity. In addition, he has conducted many online webinars on large platform over cloud computing. So guys, let's welcome Mr. Sanjay into the session. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. Good evening, everyone. I am Sanjay Sharma and welcome you to the session of the cloud computing as a career. So first of all, we'll talk about agenda. The agenda of the session is pretty straight. We are going to discuss about introduction of cloud computing and how to learn cloud computing step by step, best cloud computing platform, and cloud computing career path. And at the end of the session, we are going to conduct question and answer session. If you have any question related to the course, or if you need to ask anything, you may raise questions, right? So first of all, introduction with the cloud computing. So you might have heard about cloud computing. As we know, these days, cloud computing is for every use, especially in the field of IT. Even all major companies either migrated their physical infrastructure over the cloud, or they are in a process to do so. So, and such kind of changes are being seen because of advantages of cloud computing over the traditional IT infrastructure. It means here one thing is very clear. So cloud computing is now necessary to learn for every IT professional or people somehow connected with cloud services, right? So nowadays, cloud computing is being used almost in every field. So some good examples we have, such as education, IT infrastructure, software development, entertainment industries, e-commerce, medical field, research and development, and many other fields we can mention here, right? So it's basically a very long list we have. So in addition, with the help of cloud computing, it would be easier for us to implement the use of fields like artificial intelligence and the machine learning, where huge data is required as input. So for the machine learning and artificial intelligence, the cloud computing is becoming a common platform. Today, cloud computing is known for high availability, resiliency, agility, durability, and the performance, right? So means we have a number of things, but because of less time or limited time, I will just complete this session in short way. So in the easiest term, what is the cloud computing? So basically, when you talk about the cloud computing, some people say this is a network, this is a place where you can hire servers, this is a place where you can store your data, or you can access services. Many people, many definitions, right? But in the easiest term, cloud computing defines storing and accessing data and programs over the internet from a remote location. So in other words, the cloud computing term used for the delivery of hosted services over the internet. So very simple definition, the hosted services over the internet. It is known as cloud computing. So cloud computing by AWS definition, AWS has its own definition, right? So refers to the own demand delivery of IT resources and application via the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing model. So they are saying, so we are using the pay-as-you-go pricing model. So cloud providers charges only per hour basis. Let's say if you use resources for 2 hours, so cloud providers will charge only for those 2 hours. Now, this way you can control billing amount. And if services are not required, you can stop your resources anytime. So this will control your capital expenditures. So we can see all other features we have in cloud computing. So why do we need actually cloud computing, and why do we need cloud? So today we see a number of cloud platforms are available. For example, we know about AWS, MS Azure, Google Cloud. So all and many more we have n number of cloud platform, but AWS, GCP, and MS Azure. So these are the three big cloud platform and the public cloud platform, right? So we have the different kind of a cloud. So I'm just emphasizing over the public cloud platform. So all these, so all sizes of companies, whether they are small, medium, and even large, find some significant benefits to switch on the cloud because of its less cost, high availability, and easy deployment of services. So one of the major reason why the huge number of the small scale and large scale business sectors from all over the world are using cloud today is because of the tremendous effect on cost saving. Yes, so cloud computing has made a drastic change in the reduction of hardware and software cost and other server resources as well. So we can run all our workload, data application, the process online over the internal remotely instead of using physical hardware and software. And day to day issues related to the server maintenance or the installation of the software, hardware, or whether it is a renewal of licenses. So all these factors are undertaken via cloud computing service provider. So this is the major advantage we see if you use cloud computing environment. Cloud not only handles the data storage remotely, but it also protects and recovers all crashes or lost data. So we don't have to worry about the crashed or the loss of data. It gives you a high security. So you can say even your data also is secure over the cloud. So we have number of benefits side by side. We have the long list of cloud benefits like flexibility, controlled capital expenditure, data accessibility, security, resiliency, performance, high availability, and business continuity plan. And not only this, even you can talk about disaster recovery. So there is a long list actually, right? So by the way, now, so another is, let's say I'm talking about little about AWS here. So Amazon Web Services, which is the world most comprehensive and broadly used cloud network or cloud platform. So AWS Global Infrastructure is built to deliver the cloud services with the highest quality and performance. You know that the AWS cloud is number one these days. More than, I think, 60% share goes to AWS. So AWS provides services throughout the world in more than 245 countries and territories. So almost you can access this platform from anywhere on this globe. You can access AWS through the internet, right? So AWS cloud infrastructure, which we see in the cloud console, or console I'm saying means when you log in into that AWS using the browser, we call it as a AWS console. So it is built around regions and availability zones. So AWS cloud spans around 81 availability zones. So this is not a small figure. This is a very big figure because every availability zone is a group of data centers. Every availability zone. So every availability zone contain multiple data centers, and total 81 availability zones we have throughout the world. And we have the 26 live geographical locations. So these geographical locations are known as region in AWS. So this global infrastructure is spread around the world, and AWS is offering more than 200 fully featured services from their data center globally, right? So, and if I'm talking about the major and minor services, you can't believe more than 1,500 services are there in AWS. It is almost impossible to learn everything by one person because you need to select your vertical. So you want to be a architect, DevOps, or a system administrator, or you want to go in security, you want to go in databases. So you will select your vertical. But in order to start your journey, so you have to understand the entire picture. AWS has millions of customers, including the startups, largest enterprises, and leading government agencies. So AWS is trusted over 1 million customer of all types. People trust AWS infrastructure. You know why? Because it is a more agile and available at very low cost as compared to any other cloud platform. But you will definitely you will understand what is this AWS and what benefits are there. So AWS Cloud Computing Platform is large collection of services, and services are divided into groups, such as we have compute services, we have storage services, we have network services, we have security services, we have database services. So this way, large number of service groups you have in AWS. So all these services are offered through their AWS global infrastructure using the internet, right? So first of all, yeah, this is a basically very lengthy topic, and definitely you take definitely interest in this. Now, sometimes we are usually confused, by thousands of different terms and platforms we are seeing, because we have AWS, MS Azure, we have Google Cloud, many other clouds we have. So definitely you are just confused, which should I select? And you know that I totally understand. I can understand your concern. In fact, my team is working on a set of very basic content to start the learning or teaching the cloud computing from scratch. So a complete learning path for the beginners we have. I'll show you. So I did design actually for you, and I definitely assure that you would definitely like it. And very first, we need to provide the brush of content in order to clear prerequisites. Prerequisites means so when you start your journey in cloud computing, so some basic technical concepts must be clear. And in order to start this journey, we are helping you to just clear all these concepts. And those concepts could be from the programming skills, networking skills, database security and privacy, and many other. Okay. In addition, we also cover the basics of virtualization and containerization to understand the development of microservices, because in these days the model of the development also has been modified and changed. So we are using the microservices model, and in order to implement microservices model, we have two options in our hand to create a machines. One is a virtual machine and another is a containers. Containers are basically the lightweight virtual machines if you are comparing with the virtual machines, right? So you should have very clear idea about the differences between virtualization and containerization, where you should choose containers, where you should choose virtual machines. So all these concepts, so in the beginning, before the start of the course, we will provide. Later on, we start the cloud platforms such as you can start anyone, AWS, Azure, or GCP. And during the training, you will have to cover a number of assignments and projects for good hands-on. And simultaneously, you will prepare yourself for certification as well. If you want to prepare for Intellipaat certification, it's good. And if you want to prepare for international AWS certification, so you can also prepare. And we are helping on those certification preparation as well, right? Next, best cloud computing platform. So before I'm just starting on this, I want to show you, let me tell you just a minute, where is my board? And I think you will like my board. Just a minute. I'll not take much time. Right. This is only for the AWS, but this can be considered that you can use it for any cloud computing platform, right? Any cloud computing platform. See, this is the mind map. So if you start your journey in the beginning, let's say you are a fresher, you could be a fresher, you could have some experience as well, right? Let's say I'm showing the two different kind of people here. The one is totally fresh, means you just completed your degree and you want to do some professional course for cloud computing. So you are here. And maybe you are some professional, you may be a professional, you have some, let's say 5-year experience, 10-year experience, maybe 15-year experience, or maybe you're from the same, the IT background, right? So when you start your journey for the cloud computing, so these are the prerequisites I'm showing here. These are the prerequisites. So we are giving actually some inputs on all these prerequisites, just like the fundamental of TCP/IP, in order to start the cloud computing, in order to stand the architecture of the cloud computing, you must have very good understanding about open system interconnection. What is IPv4? What is IPv6? What is CIDR? Right? The classless interdomain routing. What is the subnetting? What are the protocols, port numbers? Because if you want to apply some firewall or configuration of the firewall, if you want to write a rule, you must understand all these terms, right? Significantly. You must also have some idea about, this system administration. What is the system administration? System administration means the server administration, whether it's a Linux server or Windows server. So you must have little idea about the Linux operating system as well, because in the production environment, generally we are using Linux operating system. Even the hypervisors are written in Linux, right? And the majorly you are using the Linux operating system in the production environment. So you must have some understandable knowledge about Linux. You must have the knowledge about the Windows server as well, right? Because in these platforms, you can create both machines. You can create Windows machine, you can create Linux machine. And these days, even AWS allows you to create a Mac machine also. You can create Mac servers on AWS platform. So means you must have, in order to start the training, you must have some idea about the Linux, Windows, and we are providing the training. So these trainings are the free of cost we are including. So Linux classes are totally free of cost in our programs. And you must have some idea about the security, like the fundamental of the security. Then only you can apply the firewall rules. Then only you can understand how actually the data is moving, right? What is IPS? What is IDS, right? So what is the third-party appliances of the firewalls, and where exactly we can choose those appliances to actually include in our architecture. So, and the basics of databases. So generally, now the database field also is becoming more complex, because we have the different kind of a databases. We have structured database, we have unstructured database. And for structured database, we are using very popular engines like Oracle, MySQL, MS SQL. And for NoSQL, we are using DynamoDB. So what is the NoSQL? What is the difference between the NoSQL and SQL? So all these comes under the basics. So many of you are very perfect. I know that. So you have very good experience. Some of you have very good experience. But let's say 30, 40% or 20% who's basically come from the very clear or very new background. For them, I think this is good. And this also is there. So some programming skills also are necessary. Let's say if you know about the shell programming, means to write the scripts, to automate the programs, to automate your infrastructure, right? And if you have an understanding about the Python and some high level languages, it's a good for you, right? So these are basically the prerequisite for everyone. And if you are a fresher, so this is very important. Let's say you are not a fresher, you just came from some rich background, you have a pretty good background, you have let's say 5-10 years experience in the IT field, and you know that all these are basically the basic things. I know everything. Okay, no issue. You can just go to the first number phase number 1. You must have idea about the virtualization. What is the virtualization? What is hypervisor? What are the virtual machine? What are the storages? Because in cloud computing, we have not only one type of storage, we have different type of storages. We have object storages, file system storages, we have block storages, and the uses of such storages are different for the different use cases, correct or not? And if you just go there, once the phase 1 is completed, then we talk about the containerization and container orchestration tools. This also is a very important. As I told you, because these days developers are using containers in their development environment. So if you just configure the CI/CD pipeline, so the majority of people prefer to use containers instead of virtual machines. Am I correct or not? I'll answer all these questions. Okay, so this is cloud computing. Once you understand about these phase 1 and phase 2, then we come to the cloud computing. So I did write here AWS, but it is up to you. You can start your journey with Azure. You can start your journey with AWS. Let's say if you start your journey with AWS, so number of certifications we have. We have AWS Solution Architect Associate level, because I have more than 20 years of experience in IT field, and I work with many big companies, right, on a very good position. And I'm working as a consultant. I'm working as a subject matter experts with some companies. So if you uh, it means if I give any suggestion regarding so from where exactly you should start the journey, so my opinion is AWS Solution Architect Associate level, right? And or you can start with the Azure. You can start with the Azure. So these are the two major certifications. And once you complete the certification, you can also learn about some scripting languages to automate your cloud, because these days the people are not working on a single cloud. The companies are working on multiple cloud. Do you find this diagram, the mind map, is useful, right? S3 is a simple storage service. It's a simple storage service. This is a simple storage service, right? Okay. Now, I was talking about the term cloud computing span a range of classification types and architecture model. I was talking about we have the different architecture model. So we have large number of models in which the public cloud, private cloud, multi-cloud, right, and hybrid cloud. So these are four models we generally see. So if you're talking about the public cloud, actually Azure, Amazon means Azure, AWS, and GCP. These are coming from the public cloud model. So this type of cloud was developed by third-party providers, and it is open for public. And we are using these platforms to create companies' infrastructure, just like in your own data centers. The most popular public cloud platforms are AWS, GCP, MS Azure, like DigitalOcean. So means many other platforms are there. I do not want to give the name of all those such. And the second type of the cloud computing platform is private cloud. So this type of cloud means that a cloud was developed or configured for the only organization for its private use. Means it is not public. So all resources belongs to you. And third is hybrid cloud. Hybrid is basically the mix of public and private clouds. Means if you are combining the public cloud with private cloud, it becomes hybrid. And how to combine, how to connect, that you would need to understand, because even in AWS, if you're talking about, let's say you have one infrastructure on AWS cloud computing environment, and you are running your own data center in your company and you want to connect them. So AWS does provide direct connectivity. So means all these are some technical things you will learn, right? That means the part of the services and application are hosted in public cloud, and another part with the vulnerable and sensible data is hosted on the private one. So this is called the hybrid. And one more concept is basically becoming popular, and that is known as the multi-cloud. In a multi-cloud environment, shouldn't be confused with the actually hybrid one, right? So the main difference is the use of various public cloud for data hosting. Sometimes a cloud provider doesn't offer needed services, and organizations have to use multiple options. Means you have multiple cloud environments and you want to connect them. So let's say one company is using Azure, and side by side they are also using AWS. So some part of the infrastructure is running on Azure and some part of infrastructure is running on AWS, and they need to combine them. So such kind of cloud is known as multi-cloud, right? So what is AWS? AWS is basically the subsidiary of Amazon.com, which provides an on-demand cloud computing platform for individual companies and government agencies. And Microsoft Azure, initially, it was known as Azure, and it was launched in year 2010 with the intent to provide the competent cloud computing platform for businesses. And Azure was renamed in 2014, and we know it as Microsoft Azure. Okay, still we are using the name Azure, And third is, which is becoming now popular, Google Cloud Platform, GCP, which is offered by Google, and it is a suite of cloud computing services that runs on the same infrastructure that Google uses internally for its user product, such as Google search engine, YouTube, and many more, because the Google also is a very big company. They having multiple products, right? Okay. Now, if you see this slide, this is very important. Means once you become certified, once you become the train on a particular the cloud platform, right? So what you're getting, so if you want to make a career in cloud computing, there are number of significant factors behind it. So being a cloud computing certified opens many opportunities for landing a good and high paying career. It grows credibility, which will help you to grow in your career. So you can select your career path in cloud computing as a cloud consultant, DevOps cloud engineer, data science engineer, cloud reliability engineer, cloud infrastructure engineer, cloud security engineer, or cloud architect, right? So, Miss, how good is cloud computing as a career choice? As I just detailed, after the training and certification, you can opt for a number of positions. Not only this, there are numerous benefits of opting for a career in cloud computing. It increases credibility. You will have more job opportunities in your hand, whether you are a fresher or as an experienced professional. So these certifications and training develops your skill set. And these are the highest rated certifications these days. Even if we are taking an example, if I'm taking an example of AWS, I was showing you, means I was explaining you, it is available in more than 245 countries and territories, and we have more than 1,500 major and minor services. Not only this, day by day its popularity is being increased, and worldwide it has more than 1 million active customers. So even in this pandemic, COVID pandemic, the cloud computing is adopting worldwide. So this is adopted worldwide. This platform is adopted worldwide. So cloud has played a key role in maintaining activities during the outbreak. So with employees working from home using the conferencing system, remote access to their working tools. So cloud computing is becoming essential to cope with the crisis. So scalability and elasticity of the cloud have proven the limitations of legacy application infrastructure during the challenging time. So in last, I can say the cloud computing, or you can say cloud market is dominated. And no doubt the cloud computing training and certifications are number one. And it is number one because of its feature and services offered to the customers are incomparable, right? Number of things I know that you have number of things in your mind, and I think my colleague will help you to understand more, and I think he is going to give the answers of all the queries you have.
Yeah, hello. Hi, Sanjay.
Yeah, please carry on.
Sure, will do. So yeah, everyone, I think it was very great. Sanjay had given us a brief introduction about the whole program related to the structure of how a cloud computing expert would be able to develop their career as well according to the same. So from now onwards, I would just be able to show you the complete details related to the whole program that what Intellipaat provides from our end, and specifically to be able for you to understand regarding the same details, like what you would basically have to do in order to upskill yourself and have a career change accordingly to the same platform. So here, when I talk about the same cloud computing field also, first of all, before I go forward, like let me introduce myself. So my name is Chirag. I'm from Intellipaat, and basically I would be your senior course advisor for now. And I would be able to give you the complete details related to the whole program that we provide from our end. And with respect to the same, I think here on the website, I hope with the details that you have collected from Mr. Sanjay as well. So basically, until now, I think you would have a clear picture related to what different domains are available in the industry related to cloud. So mainly, first of all, if I talk about, there would be mainly three cloud technologies or three domains that are most probably used in the industry. And these three domains would be first AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. So out of these three domains as well, or three to major platform providers in the industry right now, many people look to update themselves to these technologies one after the other. So for instance, for example, if I talk one of the most leading cloud platforms right now with respect to the current industry standards, which would be AWS. And AWS would be something where which has already been there in the industry and has also captured more than 70 to 80% of the market in terms of the platform providers throughout the world. And if in case any organization is looking to update themselves right as of now into cloud, so that would be one option that many people would be suggested to take as well, which would be AWS. So here, what I would be doing is I would be showing you the complete details regarding a specific program that we do have from Intellipaat, which will actually give you some benefit accordingly for the same. So right now, if you actually see here, you can see the homepage of the website from Intellipaat. And once you're on the home page, you can just scroll down a little bit. You do have like the Explore Our programs, where you can see there are multiple programs that we provide from our side. And not only with cloud computing, different domains as well, like data science, big data, cybersecurity, digital marketing, Salesforce. So basically, we provide you the complete details and the training and certification with respect to these domains and technologies that you would be looking to update yourself with respect to the IT sector. And one of the most leading platforms right now, what people or individuals are looking to update themselves, that would be cloud computing. And here on the website, even if you select the same topic for cloud computing, you would be able to see the list of courses that we provide from our end. And these courses are specifically related to one of the most popular courses that we provide from our side. Now, out of these list of courses, you would be able to see not only AWS, we do provide you training for Microsoft Azure, we do provide you training for DevOps, as well as GCP, which is Google Cloud Platform. Now here, when I talk about anything which would be giving you some necessary requirement for an individual, so it does not matter if you are a fresher or an experienced person around 10 to 15 years or 5 to 10 years. So if in case you have made up your mind to go forward and have a career change or a career transition to be done, and if you're aiming for a position where you have to land in cloud computing sector itself, then I would say something where it is not necessary right now that you only update yourself into one cloud technology. Because as I hope you would be knowing, as Mr. Sanjay also told you the same thing, that companies or organizations right now are basically not working on a single cloud platform. So they are not going to depend on only AWS or Azure or Google Cloud. Basically, they are first of all, implementing the multi-cloud based system in the industry right as of now. And with the same technology, with the multi-cloud in the sense, they use basically not just one, but more than one cloud in the system. So the complete infrastructure would be related on AWS or Azure or Google Cloud or any other private cloud that they would be developed by the organization. So into the same section here into cloud computing, you can actually see there is one specific program that we have, one of the most popular programs with Intellipaat right as of now, and that would be the IIT Madras, which is provided with the same certification training, which is the advanced certification in DevOps and cloud computing. Now, why would I suggest you DevOps and cloud computing is because as basically you should be knowing that any individual looking to update themselves into any platform related to cloud, there is one more technology or tool that it would be necessary for you to update yourself, which is also basically completely transferring the whole manual testing infrastructure into automation. So the organizations are not basically depending on the complete manual testing process right as of now. The complete process is developed and programmed in such a way that everything is going to run in a very smooth manner. So the complete automation process or the automation testing and the deployment and the services that you use, everything is taken care by DevOps. And that is why right as of now in the industry, as an individual, if you look to update yourself into the same section related to cloud, there is another technology that you also need to update yourself along with cloud, which would be DevOps. And that is the reason here you do have a specific program that we provide, which is IIT Madras. Basically, this is for advanced certification in DevOps and cloud computing. So once you click on know more and just go into the same program, you would be able to see the complete details regarding the whole sector here. So this particular program that we provide, which is advanced certification in DevOps and cloud computing, is being provided to you by IIT Madras as well as Intellipaat. So we are actually the official training partners or the platform providers for yourself to be getting yourself trained with the same, industry mentors as the product managers, basically, who would be teaching you with respect to IIT Madras. And here, this program, why I would be telling you, which would be giving you the much more benefit for as well, is because many individuals would be looking to update themselves and have a career change or a career transition done from your end, but you might be looking at in a very short span of time. Because normally, if in case you look forward with respect to any institute which is related to any IIT, the same program would be taking you for around close to 9 months or 1 year or 2 years. But this is something where it's completely cut short and given you in a very short manner, which is 6 months of sessions. So basically, the complete duration of the whole program, if I talk about, would be taking you just around 6 months to complete the whole program. So here you do have all the details which is mentioned. If you scroll down, you have about the program that you can see all the details specifically. So one of the most key highlights that you can see, all the details are also present here as well. So the first one would be where you have 120 hours of live sessions, which is divided into 5 months plus 1 month of project sessions as well. So 5 months in the sense you have 5 months of online sessions that you'd be attending with the instructors, that is with the industry professionals. So the classes, if I talk about, normally we have two batches available. One is the weekdays, which is Tuesday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. And another batch, which is in the weekend, which is Saturday and Sunday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. in the evening. Now, these timings are kept in mind with respect to a working professional in the industry, and even with the instructors who are going to teach you, these people also are, as well as are working professionals in the industry. So basically, the complete program here would be divided into two parts. I would say like 5 months of online sessions that you attend with the instructors, as well as along with that, you do have 1 month of complete project sessions that would be conducted. So this complete 6 months of program would be for around close to 400 hours of applied learning. Along with that, you do get an extra 168 hours of self-paced learning. So self-paced learning is some materials that Intellipaat we specifically have put together, which you can actually go through, revise yourself, and understand any extra benefits that you want to get into. So any extra modules that you want to go through. So these are the self-paced materials that you get with respect to those modules that you would be updating yourself for the same. And one of the most flexible schedule that we have here is that you have not just have the weekend class or the weekdays, but you have both the weekdays and the weekends. So basically you can select any one batch according to your preference. So you can go forward for the weekdays batch if you're busy in the weekend, or you can go for the weekend batch if you're busy in the weekdays. So the timings are fixed. It would be weekdays, which is from Tuesday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning, and the weekend batch, which is Saturday and Sunday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. in the evening. So one of the most important factors when any individual is looking to update themselves into the same section, that is, if you are very new to the same platform, or even if you have a little bit of experience into a different domain, and if you're looking to shift yourself into the same curriculum, that is with the respect to cloud computing or so. So one of the most beneficial factors that I can say, which relates to the project work and exercises that you have to complete. So when I talk about here 50 plus industry projects and case studies that you would actually be working on. So normally this 50 plus industry projects and case studies are the real-time industry projects that you'll be working on throughout the whole program. That is for 6 months of duration. So you also will be having that 1 month of time at the very end. You have the complete time to be scheduled for product sessions, project sessions, and specifically including in that, you do have that 50 plus real-time industry projects and case studies that you would be completing from your end at any point of time throughout the whole program. So along with that, you do have another advantage, because here you do have included that 2 capstone projects from our side, from Intellipaat, that we have included from N. So for the same program, if I talk about the sessions or the classes, for any individual who's actually looking to enroll yourself for the same program, you would be specifically assigned with a dedicated learning manager for each and every individual. So throughout your training program for around 6 months of time, at any point of time, if you have any questions, queries related to the technical or non-technical domain, so you would be able to get in touch with your dedicated learning manager as well as your technical expert who would be in touch with you and clarify whatever questions, queries you have at any point of time throughout the program. Apart from that, there are a few things that you can actually get the benefit as well, which would be like the 24/7 support that is provided to you specifically from Intellipaat, and even the soft skill essentials training as well. So apart from these features, even if you scroll down a little bit, you would be able to see about the IIT Madras details as well with respect to the institute. And I think most of the people who are present to the webinar would also be knowing the same name, which is IIT Madras. It is one of the leading IITs in India right now to be providing you the training with respect to the domains that you'd be looking for. And that is where we actually have brought up the collaboration with IIT Madras here specifically for DevOps and cloud computing, where here into the certification, you would be able to see you yourself are going to be certified that you have successfully completed an advanced certification in DevOps and cloud computing, which is basically conducted through the Digital Skills Academy by Center of Continuous Education, which is from IIT Madras in association with Intellipaat. So you do know the recognition or the status that you would be getting with respect to if you are a person who has completed a IIT certification as well as the training from your end. So this is going to give you some boost up in your career as well as in your resume that are going to be added on, which will actually be able to help you to have that career transition done very smoothly. Now, in terms of any individuals who would be having some doubts or queries related to if in case you are an IT professional or a non-IT professional or a fresher. So normally, I think all your questions would be clarified here as well, because this is something where you can very clearly see who can apply for the course. So it does not matter if you are a person who already holds some experience into the same IT sector, or if you are an individual who basically are from a non-technical background or a technical background. Basically, the complete course is also designed in such a way that we are going to teach you from the very basic scratch. That is from the preliminary classes itself. So when I talk about the content or the curriculum, you can just scroll down a little bit more. You would be able to see the complete content and the curriculum as well. So normally with respect to the content, if I talk about here, so these are the roles and technologies what you yourself as a person can be playing in the industry. Now, before I get into the roles, I think you must be knowing about the content first. So curriculum wise, if I talk about, you can see the different modules that are actually included here. So normally this program does not just focus on one particular technology, just like AWS. It is going to be focusing more on the complete integration of AWS as well as DevOps, along with the complete platform that is related to the integration of the multi-cloud as well. So in terms of updating yourself into one technology, AWS, that is AWS Solutions Architect alone, that is not going to give you that much of a benefit or an add on to your skill to have that career change or a career transition done. Because very frankly, before 4 years or 5 years, if you had told me the same thing, then I would be suggesting you AWS alone would be more than enough to have yourself changed into the same platform right as of now. But with respect to the current scenario and the current requirement with the industry requirement, I would say any cloud technology that you're going to update yourself right now, you would also have to update yourself into the other tool or the terminology that I would say, which is DevOps. Because any program, I would say, with respect to your networking field, security part, management, or infrastructure setup or monitoring, whichever domain that you're going to select with as well, everything is basically moved into automation. So when it comes to automation, you do have different tools, different technologies that you would have to update yourself with. So that is where you do have this DevOps, you do have data virtualization, Kubernetes, Docker, Terraform. Now, these are the modules and the terminologies or the technologies that you have to update yourself in terms to be recognized in the industry as a complete DevOps professional. Now, why I would be telling you this DevOps tools as well would be necessary is because basically, even if you update yourself into any terminology, any technology, for example, like AWS or Azure, you would also have to update yourself into the integration of the AWS cloud along with the DevOps tools as well, which is actually again present in the same content here, which is DevOps on AWS, which is the complete integration of these two technologies that you learn. So it's not only DevOps with AWS, but you also do have Azure as well as DevOps. Because I think these two programs, which is DevOps on AWS and Azure DevOps, has become that necessary in the industry right as of now for an individual to update themselves with respect to the current industry requirement. So the companies or the organizations, if I talk about, are actually not looking for individuals who can just work as a DevOps engineer or who can just work as an AWS solutions architect. So these individuals are actually looking for people who are actually well trained and certified and basically into these terminologies, or I would say with the specific integration part that you would have to know. And one of the most benefits of the same program here, you actually do have one module that I can say most of you would have heard of, but I think many people wouldn't have looked into the same module specifically, which is DevSecOps. So DevSecOps is completely a terminology very new in the industry right now, and it is one of the most booming platforms which people are looking to update themselves with. Because this is something where you are going to update yourself thoroughly in respective to the DevOps terms as well as the security part. So this is just a combination of your complete development and the security as well as the operations that is all combined in one. Now, when it comes into integration part, this tool or this technology is one of the most demanded platforms right now. And I think even if you do search from your end, you would be able to know what is the importance or the factor of the same profile, which is actually applicable to be learned right as of now. So along with this curriculum that you can actually see, you do have like around 10 modules that are included from the very basic. So the very basic would be like your preparatory classes, preparatory sessions, which is where you would be learning Python and Linux foundation. Now, Linux is something where you have the complete scripting language that you will be learning, which is basically used in AWS as well as DevOps. But Python, again, you might be thinking that why do you need to learn some programming language here? So basically, you're not going to learn your complete programming language with respect to the whole Python itself, not to sit and write codes around 1 or 2 pages or something like that. So this is something where you would be updating yourself in terms of the complete Python scripting or Linux scripting that you would be updating yourself from your end. So this is where you would be in a position where you would be able to upskill yourself in the same manner, which is going to give you the benefit for it. So here the complete profile, I would say, where we would be helping you out is from the very basic scratch. So even if you tell me you do not know what AWS is or you do not know what DevOps is, but please do look into it that right as of now with the current scenario or the current situation that individuals are necessary to update yourself into cloud, but along with that, you do need to update yourself into DevOps as well, because that would be something as a minimum requirement that I would say that you would actually have to do. Because here with in terms of the availability in the industry right now with respect to the job roles or the options that you would be getting. So you would be able to see here what normally a role as a DevOps and a cloud computing professional play in the industry. So it is not something where you can just work as a AWS solutions architect or a DevOps engineer, because here you could be able to work into multiple organizations, into multiple domains. So when I talk about cloud, mainly you have the complete profile as a complete cloud architect that you can apply for after completing this particular role. And after completing this particular program, you'd be eligible to go forward and apply for the positions where you can actually work as a complete cloud professional, and not only as a cloud professional, but as well as a DevOps architect as well. So along with this, it's not only going to be fixed into one particular section, because as I said, companies are basically working on the multi-cloud based system. So that is where you get into the integration part, that you would have to learn how you can actually transfer the complete data from one storage, one complete cloud storage to another one as well, where you learn the migration part. And that is where you learn, once you learn the integration of AWS DevOps and Azure DevOps, you would be much more in a much better position where you can actually work into the multi-cloud based system that you would be updating yourself with. So even if you scroll down a little bit, you can see the complete skills and the tools that you'll be mastering here. So these are the number of tools and technologies that you would be updating yourself with respect to the DevOps tools, as well as AWS and Azure that you would be updating yourself, as well as the complete skills, what you would be showcasing it in your CV as well. So this is something which will be giving you, as I said, here you have AWS migration, you basically have management and monitoring services, continuous monitoring, data virtualization, integration of DevOps on AWS. Now, because these are the terminologies what people are actually looking that must be present in your CV when you go for a career change or a career transition. Now, even when I talk about these tools, technologies that you update yourself with, and if in case you tell me that you are a fresher, and right as of now, will this be more suitable for you to update yourself? Yes, I would say 100% it would be suitable, because as a fresher, you actually are going to make your career right as of now. And with the current scenario or the current situation, the companies are looking for freshers with the same technology update. So they are not looking for people who can just work on Java, work on Python. they are actually looking for people who basically work on the complete cloud system altogether. So that's one reason why here with Intellipaat, you'd be able to see the complete career transition or the career services that we do provide. So here on the website, when you look into the same career services, this is something where we help you out from Intellipaat. Normally, apart from the training or the sessions that is conducted, with the career services, you would be able to have a very detailed manner that we help you out. So in the very beginning here on your right side, you can see the profile building, where normally once you start the training program and almost around 70% of the course, once it is completed, I would say roughly around 4 to 5 months, you would be in a much better position where you can actually go forward and start circulating your resumes into the industry. And this again would be given you with the assistance from Intellipaat. Normally you can see here you have your resume and LinkedIn profile building. So basically here what we do is, with respect to your previous experience, your profile, my placement department team would be getting in touch with you. They take your resume, they update your resume, they update your LinkedIn profile with respect to your previous experience, as well as the experience that you would be getting while going on with the same program. So updating yourself with these complete profiles here and adding on all the technologies and the skills into your same resume and updating yourself as per the current industry requirement, then we will be sending you with the second round, which is your interview preparation part. Now, in this interview preparation part, you would have your complete mock interviews preparation that would be conducted, where we would be assigning you a one-to-one career mentoring session with a specific mentor within the industry. So now this mentor is going to be helping you out in terms of improving yourself in the way where you would have to clear your official interviews. So once the official interviews are being scheduled for you, it must be necessary that you must be prepared well enough how to tackle the questions, how to handle the same scenarios as well. So the complete preparation that would be done from Intellipaat, and you don't need to worry about that. And once the interview preparation again is done, and once the mentor gives us an update that you are fair enough to go forward and attend the interviews with the companies, there you have the third step and the very last one, which is your job assistance. Now, this is something where people would be most probably looking for with respect to any profile or any course that you are going to enroll. Because normally, if in case you are very interested here, this is something where you get the much more benefit from Intellipaat, because we basically have our own job portal that you can access for, apart from any public services that any someone else provides in the industry or any other organization, I would say. So normally here you can see Intellipaat as an organization, we have around close to 500 plus hiring partners. Normally with these partners, we are partnered with irrespective of your present location that you would be available right as of now. So accordingly, we help you to update yourself into the same technology in terms of the tools and terminologies that are needed basically. And in terms of interview preparation and mock interviews, as well as the last, as I said, assured interviews. So this is where my team would be understanding your profile, your experience, and with the experience that you get with this particular course that you would be completing. So you would be in a position where you would be going forward and we would be scheduling live interviews for you. So normally with these companies that we schedule live interviews, what you would have to do is just go forward, attend those interviews and try to crack the interviews. So that is something where I can tell is, well, that basically depends upon yourself, how well you prepare yourself and have a career change as well. Now, I think here you can see there are multiple organizations that we have partnered with, the companies, and even where our alumni are actually working right as of now. So I think few companies I would namely say like Sony, Ericsson, Mu Sigma, Standard Chartered, TCS, Genpact, Wipro. So basically these are the companies where the individuals who have been taken up the training and completed it successfully and have also got placed into the same industry as well, if I talk about. So apart from that, I think with respect to the course or the curriculum, this is something which has been given you one of the most benefits that you would be getting from our end as well. Because in terms of the curriculum or the content wise, if I talk about, I think you would not be able to find the same content available in the industry with anyone else as well. Because normally updating yourself into these terms, these technologies, which will be giving you that benefit, and along with your option that to update yourself completely as a cloud professional, as a DevOps professional, you would be in a much better position, not just with the technologies that you're going to update yourself with, but as well as the status that you're going to get that as an IIT member who has already completed the services from IIT Madras. So that is something where as an add-on that I can tell, which will be basically helping you out in terms of having that career change or a career transition going to be done. Apart from that, here, I think you could see with respect to the program fees or what basically the upcoming application deadline would be available here on the website. So with respect to this, if I talk about here with the program fees, you have our upcoming application deadline, which is actually 6th of March. And this is something where we have very limited seats which are available. So with this, normally you can look into it as well. So in terms of the seats which are available in the upcoming deadline batch, that is the 6th of March, we have a very new batch that we are going to start. And basically for this, we do have our admissions open from this week. So basically from 1st of March, we had our admission batches which are open, and specifically for the same batch, as I have already informed you that this is one of the most popular programs that any individual would be looking to update themselves. So here in terms of the fees or the price that I can talk about with respect to the same program, you would be able to see the complete total admission fees would be around 80,028 rupees plus GST. So GST is something where you would be having 18% GST that would be added along with your program fees, and the overall price comes around close to 94,440. Now this 94,440, if in case basically if people are looking to update yourself with, and just to give you some extra benefit here as well with the number of learners who are present in the same webinar. So you can actually look into the same section where you can please note down my details as well, where I would be also helping you out here. So if in case you do have any plans of moving forward and making a career into cloud and DevOps, and if you are looking to go forward for the same profile, same technology, so you can please note down these details here, which is available. So my name, contact number, and email ID. So this is something where you can please note down. And if at any point of time, I can also just share it to you on your chat here, just for your reference. You can please check that from your end as well. So if at any point of time, if you have any questions, any queries as well, I am always open right now. You can please do let me know what exactly do you want to clarify as well from your end. So I think very recently, there's not that many people who have asked the questions as well. So I think there's one person here. Rosalie, do you give the certification in the session or not? So yes, as informed previously as well, once you take up the training, that is for around 6 months of training program, you would be able to get after you complete your online sessions, projects, assignments, and the complete project sessions as well at the very end. So you do have a certification exam that you would have to write. So once you write the certification exam, and there is some criteria where you would have to get minimum 60% or above 60%. So once you get minimum 60% or above 60%, you basically would be given the certification, which would be certifying you as a complete DevOps and cloud professional as per the current industry standards. And normally here, I think few more people who have asked as well, basically, I have taken Microsoft Azure certification. How do you suggest AWS? So as I already informed previously as well here from my side, if in case you are looking to update yourself in terms of multiple technologies or multi-cloud based system, it is going to give you that much of a much more benefit that I can talk about. So normally here, you do not have to depend on any one cloud platform right as of now. It's not going to be only AWS or only Azure that you'll be looking forward for, because companies, as the trainer as well gave you the very clear picture on it. So the companies are actually not working on a single platform right as of now. So they basically are working on the complete multi-cloud based system where they do have around 2 to 3 clouds integrated into one. So whenever any one service crashes with AWS, you do have a backup as Azure that you're actually using from your end. So that is the main benefit that you would be getting here from your side as well. And apart from that, I would say, like I've already shared you my details here. And if in case at any point of time, if you want to get in touch with me through, my contact number, you can always give me a call as well as drop me a message on WhatsApp. And WhatsApp would be something where you do have the same number registered from my side. So yes, so I think the other question which is being asked by Moses is the minimum package for freshers. Now, in terms of package, if I talk about your CTCs or your salary that you would be getting in the industry, it basically depends. It basically depends on what your profile is and what your what experience you have. So normally as a fresher, for all the freshers available here and the same meet as well, normally for a fresher without any experience, with zero experience, zero knowledge into the same platform, if you're going to look into updating yourself to the same technology right as of now, I can very easily tell you after completing this course, you can expect a salary package around close to 8 to 9 lakhs as a minimum package. So 8 to 9 lakhs would be something as a minimum package that you can expect. And again, with the same package, every year you can expect around 30 to 40% hike in your present salary. Now, apart from freshers, anyone else who is already a working professional in the industry and you are looking to move into the same section and have your career change or career transition done. So now this again is something where you would be getting the much more advantage of as well. Because here, for an example, if an individual has around 5+ years experience or 10+ years experience, then your minimum CTC that you already would be getting would be somewhere around close to 15 to 20 lakhs. Now here, I can tell you very frankly, as a complete cloud professional, if you already are getting basically from your different profiles that you worked on, if you're already getting 15 to 20 lakhs per annum, I can very easily tell you that you can expect somewhere around close to 25 to 30 lakhs per annum as a minimum package. Because here companies are not going to hire you in terms of just going to who's going to pay you the very less package, but it also depends on what experience, what profile you are from previously as well. So with your experience, your profile, so each person has his own facilities, or I would say his own ways of getting into the industry. So the companies, I would say there would be multiple companies what you would be able to look into and specifically get the equal amount of necessary requirement what you would be looking for. And another question, very respective with Priyanka as well. So it is a person from non-IT background. If we complete Azure alone, we can get around at least 6 lakhs per annum. So here I will be giving you a very simple example. Now see, as a person from non-IT background, if basically you are going to update yourself into Azure alone, normally Azure, see, there is some prerequisite that you would have to do, which is like AZ104, which is the prerequisite in Azure. Now, when you do your prerequisite in Azure, that is not going to give you that much of a benefit right as of now, because the organizations or the companies are actually not looking for individuals with just to work as a system admin. And why would actually people pay you around close to 6 lakhs per annum when they can actually hire a fresher without 0 years of experience, with 0 years of experience, like improving, or I would say, completely going through the same course, or I would say completing themselves into the same Azure field. And basically the companies or organizations can actually pay their more, 3 to 4 lakhs per annum. So that is the reason why I would tell you, let alone if you go for just one particular domain or one particular role that you would be aiming for, that is not going to give you that much of a benefit or a career transition or a career change that we can help you out. So that is why I would tell you in terms of the curriculum or the program that you would have to look into. So the minimum, I think even in this curriculum, you can actually look into it here. It is not only with AWS that I can say, it is not only with the tools of DevOps that you'll be learning, but as well as here, we do have also included the Azure DevOps contents as well, because we don't know what is the requirement in the industry, what companies are actually looking for. So it is also necessary for an individual, not only updating yourself into single technologies or an individual profile or a domain that you'll be looking for. It basically is also necessary for you to update yourself into the complete multi-cloud based system. So that is one reason why I would tell you, that is why you actually have to update yourself into this section accordingly. And I think another question here, which is from Divya. So should cloud be essential for the position of data analyst? So now in terms of any integration with another profile or a domain that you'd be looking for, see, I would tell you a very simple example. Now, as a data analyst, what you would be doing, you would be able to update yourself into multiple tools or technologies related to SQL or R programming or Java or Python. So normally there are different data analyst tools or technologies that you'd be looking to update yourself with. Now, in terms of storing the data, transferring the data, or basically monitoring the whole system, or completely shifting that into the whole automation process. So how do you do that? You basically need to know how you can actually work on any one cloud technology previously. So until unless you are not good into cloud, you would not be able to work, know how you have to work into the complete integration part or complete infrastructure management that you have to learn. That again would be taught to you into the same platform related to cloud. So that is where I can tell you any profile, any domain that you select. For example, data science or big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning, or I would say something, any other extraordinary profiles like you have cybersecurity or any other profile that you select. Each and every profile or each and every domain which is available in the industry, people are actually integrating that with cloud right as of now. So that is the requirement in the industry or what the companies are looking for. And that is one reason why I would tell you cloud computing or the cloud domain would actually be one of the most demanding platforms which is actually available right now in the industry. And I can also assure you that there would not be a position where the complete profile is going to come down, because you never know, now any other profile might be very high right now, but in the future it might be very down. Because previously I think it's not, just for a simple example, people used to update themselves into Java completely, but right now C++, Java is also left behind, and Python has been introduced immediately, replacing those two. So that is where anywhere you look into data science or cloud computing, Python scripting is one of the most used programming scripting knowledges which are available in the industry right as of now. So basically here with the integration that you'll be learning on, that would be something where you would be able to update yourself, and cloud would be getting into any platform that you integrate yourself as well. So apart from that, I think if there is any more questions or queries, please do let me know. So apart from that, I also have shared you my details here. And if in case after the session, at any point of time, if you still have any queries or any questions that you need to clarify, so please do let me know on the same. You can just drop me a message on the same number, which is 97411375532, or to my email ID, which is chirag@intellipaat.com. So at any point of time, you can reach out to me so we can have a conversation if in case you are looking to proceed for the same program or so. So with respect to the pricing part, right, as of now, for every learner who's available here or everyone who's watching the same video as well, I would be able to give you the same program from my side, specifically the pricing part as well. So as I said, the pricing part would be somewhere around close to 94,440, the overall price, which is including 18% GST and everything that you would be getting. So what I would be doing here from my end as well is I would be able to give you flat 20% off, which would be available from my end with respect to the same program, if in case you can give me an update in the next 24 hours. So 24 hours would be the duration that the same offer price would be valid from my side. And if in case you do have any questions, queries, you do want to clarify before that, you can always reach out to me so we can have a conversation. And even me, from my side, would be able to help you out to get this specific offer that is available right now for the very upcoming batch, which is the March 6th batch that we are actually going to start. And I think I can also take this one last question, I think, which is how soon is the Azure class starting? What is the price? So basically, we do have a batch starting, from this weekend, the upcoming weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and normally the weekdays, 2 batches we have. So if in case you are looking forward for it, and if you do want to look into it as well from your end, you can always please do look into reaching out to me on the same, and with the pricing or the structures that you would be wanting to know. I think we can have a clear clarification, clear talk on the same and clarify what course or questions that you have on the same. So I think many people are, available, who are available on the same meeting, are actually asking the same question, that what is the flat price in US dollars, as well as is it only for people in India? No, it is actually not only for people in India, because this is something where, as a terminology or with respect to the platform related to cloud computing, we basically provide the same training throughout the world. So it's not only specifically for people who are in India right as of now. So we basically provide training even in US, UK, rest of Europe as well. So from wherever you are present right as of now, you would always be more than eligible to go forward and update yourself with the same technology with respect to cloud and DevOps. If in case you are interested, you can always do share me your details, and we would be able to talk about the same in a very detailed manner, and we can help you out for the next 24 hours to going forward for the admission process as well. So I hope if there is no other questions or so apart from this, I hope we can actually conclude for now. Yes. So what about job assistance also? I think, I also have given you the same details related to job assistance or the career services that has been provided. So this is something which would also be taken care from Intellipaat. So you do not need to worry about that much more in detail, because We do have a dedicated separate placement department team who's available, who would always be there to help you out for the same in terms of the career change or the career services that you'd be getting from your end. And I think before we conclude, I hope if everyone has understood the same details related to the course or the curriculum, and as I already informed, if in case at any point of time, if you need to clarify anything, you can always reach out to me on the same details present here on the screen. So I hope everyone has got a very clear picture related to the same program. And if in case, if you do have any more questions, you can always reach out to me on the same. And thanks for your time, guys.